guys. I'm getting very, very. This is.
Yeah.
I believe you made that. That was incredible. Anyone who's joined us, Youngie has just joined us all the way from Lincoln. He looked at the dark side. And how was it? As we have a full frontal view.
Awful. It was, and like it was a decent firework display as well. But bearing in mind it was a paid one, I think it cost us probably like 30 odd quid. It lasted 15 minutes. Rubbish.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's Lincoln. They don't really know what entertainment is. They thought Keith Alexander Longball was fun.
The positives were that there was no air raid sirens, which was a positive.
Yes. No people bouncing down the street to the Teletubbies.
No, there was none of that. But it was like well set. They had it so the stand that used to, I don't know if it still is, but the away fans used to be in the corner. It was in that stand there. The is it the Co-op? I can't remember, but and it was like it was facing the small one, the tiny stand. But yeah, it lasted it just over 15 minutes. So Lincoln.
Do you know what?
Yeah.
No, go on.
No, I'd say it.
We'll do it.
There's it is now a treasure hunt as well. 2 lucky Lincoln season ticket holders have got the M35 stickers on the back of their seats. So if they can find them, good luck.
Yes, and then should you wish to employ them, you can. Do you know what? I get quite nostalgic about Bonfire Night. Case to Bonfire is very close to my heart. And I do really enjoy it, mostly because the pub isn't far. But
we was only talking about nostalgic fireworks. We were talking about Cleethorpes Beach firework and bonfire display on the way out. When they got the way out,
when they got the tide wrong.
Every year, Bruce will talk about this. The bonfire used to get lit before the firework display. Kids would come the day before and light the bonfire.
Ruined
completely every year,
and rightly so. The one that we have near here now is very posh. I think I've talked about it before, but they effectively build some monolithic performance stage. So this year it's Wizard of Oz. Last year it was Harry Potter. And then the stage in the back screen becomes the bonfire. And we all have to park in Mick Taylor's field from Queen. That's where our car park is. Got to park in Mick Taylor's. Yeah, see, clang. Then we wander off into his field in the middle of Surrey with so many Land Rover Defenders, Youngie. So many Land Rovers.
It's just like a sea of tweed, and it's
come on. Come on, Chrysanthemum, you're holding the rest of us up.
These fields have never seen a foreign face for years.
Right. No, they do. They have staff.
Burn the boats.
Burn the boats. They were all out in force earlier, Bruce. And I'm sorry, this is going to be worrying topic on here. They were out yesterday. One of the guys at work was getting very sad. You should see them. I don't really appreciate what they're doing with the flags, but they're very organized. They even have decided how high the flags are going to be, so they're all in line along the street. So is that potentially just how high the ladder is? Yeah, it probably is just how high the ladder is. An idiot.
Bruce gets a firework display in his garden every year, pretty much, don't you? With the cricket club.
Drugs are in.
Yeah, I'm selling tickets this year.
Is it still that? Would used to be the thing that my dad would always say. So, drugs are in. Just some
absolutely, yeah.
Not in my end of Cleethorpes, thank you.
Please.
Well, either that or it's a bloody good drop because they go on for about 20 minutes. So I don't know why you went to Lincoln expecting good fireworks, Youngie. What made you want to travel down the A46 in the dark on your way home to go and watch fireworks in Lincoln?
Bruce, are you scared of the dark?
No, but it's not a nice road at the best of times in daylight.
Why is that? It's just a road, isn't it?
Why is the A46 not a nice road?
Yeah, why? Go on. Why is the A46 not a nice road? I'm happy to be fair.
It's twisty and boring. You can't go very fast and you can't overtake.
There are
The,
three overtaking spots on the A46.
Well, that's it, and it's 45 miles long.
There is that
Well, no,
bit where
it's
you
longer
come
than
off.
45 miles. But
He's got his thing on now. Where's the bit near Caister? Just before you get to Caister, you go past Hazard's petrol station. That's a place to overtake between Holtley Moor and there. Then there's the bit where you come out of Middle Raisin and then you're driving down towards Foldingworth and you've got that straight road and someone has put like a fake security police car there and all the tourists think it's a police car while all the locals just buzz past them at 200 miles an hour. And then this is weather dependent, if it is the winter, when you've got those two 90-degree bends, when you come off the first one, you can see what cars are coming from Foldingworth on the other side. That's another overtaking spot. Are there any others?
I was saying about that. I was about to say about the guy who leaves the fake police car at the side of the road. Tonight he had blue lights on.
Did he?
So there was So he just leaves the lights on overnight on this vehicle to try and make people think that they're speeding. What a twat! I tell you what,
he's a genius.
That is prime shithousery. That is shithousery at the best.
Because it's never moved. It's been there for like 20 years. And I don't think he can move it. But all the locals know it's fake. So all the caravans slow down to 40. And that gives you a prime opportunity to just go past them. He's doing us all a service. I assume it's a he. That's proper dad energy, that is.
I reckon so. He's definitely a farm owning, bitter
farm.
Man.
No farm, no food.
Doesn't want people on the A46 in front of his house.
Yeah, no, the A46 is a very new road. It wasn't there since the Roman times.
No.
Anyway, that is our report of Lincoln City's fireworks night. Do you think we can do one, or do you think it's too much of a risk to the main stand?
Yeah, you probably have to launch from the. You probably want to have to launch from the main stand, but the kids would have to play with sparklers in one of the open corners.
The sparkler corner.
Yeah,
I like it.
No, it'd be a bit. It's night games though, a bit dodgy. I mean, I haven't been around the back for a long time, but
Do you remember? You're saying about that, Bruce. Do you remember we played them? I think it was like this was in League Two. So this would have been about maybe 10, 15 years ago. And it was like something like on the 28th of December. And it was a night game. It was like a 7:45 kickoff. And it was on the way home. It was awful. It was like snowing, really icy. And I remember the game being absolutely garbage as well, like a 0-0 or something like that.
Was that that would have been in the Football League, wouldn't it? Before we used to go on Boxing Day and beat them every year. Before then.
Yeah, it was before then. Yeah, absolutely.
Just before they threw their toys at the pram, goes, "Stop ruining his Christmas."
Yeah. You'll have to play Mansfield on Boxing Day. We've had enough of you. 3 years in a row. 3 years in a row. You've come down here and spoiled Christmas.
It was their spokesman. Was it says we just want to have a different experience or something like that.
Yeah,
That's very.
But yeah.
We were leaving at 10 o'clock on Christmas Day to get there. We were like, come on, day's over. Next one, Rotterdam Bank.
And instead of that, we got dumped with you've got to drink in Wagamama or whatever. Have a beer in Wagamama in Mansfield because there's no pubs open and it's 11 o'clock kickoff on Boxing Day.
Nothing says Boxing Day like a bowl of firecracker chicken before the start of a game against Mansfield.
Do you remember the Mansfield game where the Fenty put the free buses on, and we were on the first bus coming in? I think there was something like 20 buses that had been paid for by the club, and the pub right next to the ground, which was the designated away pub. We went in and we were the first ones in, and they only had 2 bar staff on, and we said to the bar staff, like, you're gonna have to get prepared because in a minute there's like X amount of coaches coming in, and they started laughing at us, going, "No, you're not. You're from Grimsby. You've got nobody coming in." 10 minutes later, the place was absolutely rammed, and the poor people were like ringing staff behind the bar, going, "Can you come in? We're swamped."
There's Bruce head upside down behind the bar, intravenously hooked into a pint of Boddingtons.
No. I don't always do Boxing Day. Actually, it's been a sacrifice that I've made a little bit since me and Claire have been together, which is quite a while now. But yeah, Boxing Day is a bit of a big family day in her family. I did leave a grandma. We always go to her grandma's normally, and she lives near Horncastle. And my geography is pretty good.
Speaking of remote, Jesus, yeah, okay.
She lives the other side of Horncastle as you're going from Lincoln, and I thought Horncastle, Lincoln, it's not far, is it? So one Boxing Day, I arranged that I was going to go to our game. It was during the years that we went. I think we won 4-1 on Boxing. You know, it was that era that we've just talked about, and it was a brilliant game, and it was just like a stroll in the park for our lads. And but I think we got there at about. I don't want to exaggerate. We got there about 10 o'clock. I left at about, I don't know, 12:30 maybe, and it took longer than I thought to get there. Got there at about it doesn't matter, but it took longer than I thought. Anyway, I got back about 6:30, something like that. It might have been an early kickoff. It doesn't matter, but got back. Stayed for about another half an hour, and then we went home. It was like it took me longer there and back than I thought. Far longer there and back than I thought. I'll just nip to Lincoln for the game for a couple of hours, and I was out about 4.5 hours.
Horncastle isn't that far, is it? I'm sure you got lost.
No, I reckon it's a good. It was a good hour, 45 minutes or an hour. It was nearly as far as going from put Hagworthingham in, because that's where she lives. Hagworthingham to Sinsel Bank, and I bet it's a good while further than I thought. Anyway.
Brucey went and took a swim in the Lido, didn't he? He went to Woodhall Spa, didn't he? Went to Jubilee Park and had a little dip in the pool on his way, a little celebratory paddle.
Oh, here we go. Hagworthington's quite far past.
It's only a few miles the other side of Horncastle, but it's Hagworthingham to Sinsel Bank. How long does it take? Anyway, I thought it'd be about half an hour, and it was not. I think it was at least double that.
It's 42 minutes.
Yeah, on a Saturday when there's people about, or on a match day. Yeah, it took me about an hour anyway. Anyway, it was a long time, but we won 4-1, and Claire forgave me by the following Boxing Day.
Did you?
You're still looking. You're still looking at something, aren't you?
You're looking
at house prices in Hagworthingham or something. You're on.
Please
don't. On the Zoopla route, haven't you?
Oh, do you know what? That is a favourite of mine. It was that one. Everyone must have got it. That one that I was throwing around. That was on which one? The house near the library. Was it Albert Road or something like that? I was throwing that round to everyone. It was a 4-bedroomed house on the 2 minutes from the beach, and it was something like 230 grand.
Well, you've done all sorts, haven't you? You had us moving into that one for renting out window space in that one for the Man United game that was down Blundell Avenue or whatever.
Yeah.
You've also this week bigged up the price put us off the pod party palace across the road from Blundell Park, haven't you?
Well, I think now that I've been told it has a picture of Diana above the bar, I think it's worth it.
It's worth 600. It's worth 600 grand now, is it?
Yeah. Now it's got the picture of the People's Princess.
The People's Princess. That's where I met. I met in the Blundell. Sacha Baron Cohen. That's where we met him in the Blundell.
Did you? Because the photo that you've got of him, he was definitely in the Imp. That was an Imp photo. Because I've only been.
I'm not sure the Imp was still open at that point.
I don't think that. No, I think when he was.
I think it was.
I think it was about 27. When was the film? 17 or 18 or something? I don't know.
Yeah, that film.
I remember the game for well. It was we'd play It was Cambridge at home because we lost 1-0 and we were top of the league, and they were second and they beat us to go top. So and it was busy. Blundell Park. It was a Tuesday night game, and there was a good 6,500-7,000 in. It was like a busy game, and I never knew people. So apparently he'd been in the pontoon. And I'd never knew. I didn't even know. Nothing had been said. And we was outside the Blundell afterwards having a pint. And you'll know this man, Fenners, Andrew Murray, bit of a character, comes out and goes, "Hey, Ali G's in the bar." I mean, what are you on about? He was like,
"Hang on, I'm not having this. I'm not having this as a sentence." Andy Murray came out to you and said, "Ali G's in the bar."
You didn't know it was Jimmy Connors.
Yeah. Him and Sampras are having a right time. No, so Andy Murray is a different Andy Murray. But yeah, Pete. In fact, he's Pete Rose's brother-in-law. So there you go, small world. But so he comes out and goes, "Yeah, Ali G's in there." He's like, "What are you on about? Ali G's in there?" He's like, "Ali G's in there." So we poked our heads around the door, and there he was. Sacha Baron Cohen just stood in the middle of the bar, giving people signed pictures and buying them pints.
Drinking Carling. Drinking
got
Carling.
a couple. Got a couple of pints off him. Top lad. Cheers very much. Thanks,
Yeah,
Sasha.
I'm not bothered about the photo, but I'll have the beer.
Well, nothing is more perfect than an elite Oxbridge educated wallop punching down.
Didn't even film it here, the coward.
Yeah, Belland. A bit of money in the local economy. Atonement did it. Keira Knightley did it for us, didn't she? She went, "I'll come up and film some stuff." Then again, Jack doesn't do it down here. He was doing it in Highgate this week. Posh Southerner.
Yeah, he's in York next week because we're off to see him on Friday, hopefully, on his last day of filming.
That's his version of the North. Let's go to York.
Yeah, look, Southerners, this is what the North's about, is it?
Yeah. Look at that Minster. That's basically everybody's village hall.
I've been replacing.
You can tell it's a cup weekend, can't you? We're 17 minutes in.
Oh, is it 17? Oh dear. Sorry, everyone. If it helps, I didn't see it. Bruce did from his old seat, and I'm sure he'll tell us about that. Youngie was there, and I listened to a 10-minute interview by Ebbsfleet's manager, who was moaning about a penalty that I haven't seen.
I didn't see either.
I saw it.
Thanks.
It was a penalty.
Oh, okay, fine. There we go. Was it Gillingham irate-esque? Are we going to have it? Nothing sets off the people of Kent more than small boats or penalties that are given or not given.
Should we roll the credits and then we'll talk about it?
Yeah, come back in 2 minutes.
Smooth, Ricardo, smooth.
When we talk about small boats.
Open wide for some soccer!
And now the shipping forecast issued by the Met Office on behalf of the Maritime and Coast Guard Agency at 1130. Go! At 1130.
I don't think I've ever wanted to be in a stand more than my life around there. They're going crazy.
This antiquated main stand, I can feel it vibrating.
Say, they got a penalty here, there'll be fish flying about that. There's no tomorrow.
What a magnificent piece of football! This is Vernon! Vernon scored! The supporters are invading the pitch because Grimsby Town have caused one of the biggest upsets in their history.
Love it.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the DN35 podcast. It is Cup Day, which means two things. One, we'll most likely go out to a boring team, begin with B. Bournemouth, we're coming for you. And I didn't see it because we don't have the rights. So we are relying on Bruce to give us
And Youngie was there.
And Youngie, but it's funny to just say that it's you that's going to have to give us the rundown, because all you'd say is first half was shit, loads of boats, pint.
All right. You want me to talk about
pint
it?
in the hidden gem.
You're stealing my thunder.
Oh, sorry. Go on then.
Right. I'm going to dissect the game into two unequal halves, if that's a possible thing. Because I can't tell you what would have happened had they not had a player sent off, but I can tell you what happened before they had the player sent off, and it was shit. It was really, really poor. It was tepid. We'd got players, I think we only made 3 changes, or 3 or 4. With Green dropped out, Dinny Cabia and McCracken. And we were slow. Everything was a bit disjointed. We didn't have anything. We didn't offer anything going forward. We just looked really, really. And I was sitting in my old seat, M60, which I've not visited for 20 years, I don't think.
Cracking
And
motorway.
and there's still some of the people around me that were there then, but they're older. It was surreal. But anyway, so I was chatting to my old acquaintances, my old friends and seatmates, and it was like the old days. It was like the relegation days of the sort of League One, 2003-04. You know, we were moaning about Darren Mansoram, how he wasn't Jack Lester or Clive Mendonca, and we were.
Oh, I love Darren Mansoram.
Oh, and we were discussing Doug McCrane's faults for the last couple of games.
Michael Jeffries.
It was just anyway. But no, in all seriousness, I thought that our squad was a lot stronger this year than it has been, and it is. And I'm not, and I'm only jesting slightly because I will come on to the positive bit. But the way we started yesterday, some of those players aren't putting a lot of pressure on the ones that we've got playing, and you can see why we've been wheeling out the same players game in, game out. Because I thought some of them came on, and with 11 against 11, we made a very ordinary team look all right. But anyway, as I say, don't know what would have happened after. David Artell said that he changed the formation, or we made some major changes on half an hour, I think he said. And obviously, after the sending off, it was still scrappy. I still wouldn't say we were fluent, or considering they're 2 divisions below us, it was job done. I mean, you've seen the goals now, though, haven't you? And they were all
every single one of them was a classic.
They were all scrappy. They were all scrappy goals that you take. Things that go for you when the opposition are down to 10 men, that like the deflection and the one that Danny Rose stabbed in from Vernon's brilliant, superb step over, and it was job done. I won't say it was entertaining. I sound really boring and like I was bored and miserable. But we are in the second round, and that's what matters in the cup. But it wasn't overly inspiring, even though we did win 3-1. Richard.
Thank you, Bruce. I think we started really slow, didn't we? I think that we just never got going. We lacked a real zip in our play. It was all a bit tepid. And we let them get into. I mean, let's be honest, the goal's a bit of a gift, isn't it? Firstly, what happens is that Corey at that point was playing left back, I think. And by the way, I never want to see that again. That's a disaster waiting to happen. But Corey, because he's not a natural left back, comes inside.
Is he doing the Harry Clifton role? Basically, you're the local.
Yeah, basically you're play. Yeah, I'll play anywhere, but I never want to see that again. He comes in, misses the tackle. The lad suddenly has a free run, and then Pim very tamely. Sam Barrick was kind of giving us the thinking mentally, I told you so, when Pim kind of palmed it into his own net quite softly. And there was a real kind of, actually, what you just said there, Bruce, it felt like the relegation days. In a way, it kind of did, where it was a 3,000 crowd in. It was a bit. It was like, I had a few come on town, these are shit. And you're thinking, oh, God, okay, this is a bit of a throwback here. But the game literally changed on an instant. When the sending off happened. By the way, lovely little throwback, by the way, a knee-high tackle from a lad called Ben Chapman.
The people in Scunthorpe were crossing their legs, weren't they?
They were. I was like, oh, okay. Namesake tackle. But I mean, by the way, it was the most blatant out of all the red cards that have happened this season. That one was the most blatant one.
Well, apart from the one in Gillingham where he could have been killed.
Well, he could have. Yeah, that's a good point. He could have been killed there. But yeah, that was it was knee-high tackle. As soon as you said it, everyone around as well. That's off. There's no question about it. And even in that last kind of 5 or 6 minutes of injury time, suddenly we instantly took hold of the game. And so Rose had a goal disallowed for offside, didn't he? And I think, by the way, I'd like to point out that Bruce, I saw you go off about 30 minutes to the bar. Did you come back to your seat at any point?
I didn't go in the bar. I went in the bar before the game.
Okay.
I disappeared. It was before 30 minutes because I missed their goal.
It's getting old. It's bladder. It's bladder.
Okay.
Yeah, I had a couple of pints in the lower bar, and Did I get food as well? Or was that in the second half? Yeah, no, I got food. It must have been in the first half.
You tell me.
No, they still had some
Did I get
pies.
food?
They still had some pies, so it must have been first half. But they run out of peas. They run out of peas.
Oh.
So they were offering a fish finger, and they were offering a fish finger. No, it was a fish. It was a fish cake. They were doing a fish cake and pea bun, which was priced at, I can't remember, quite reasonable, £4.50 or something. But then because there weren't any peas left, they were basically it was like a Turkish market. You were bartering for what you were going to pay for this bun. She's going. You
just wanted to be called boss man, didn't you?
I didn't have one, but the lad behind me ordered one, and the women behind the counter were going, "Oh, we haven't got any peas. What do we? It was £4.
I'll swap you. I'll swap you a piece for a double decker."
He went, "Look, I'm missing the game, girls. I'll give you £4." Oh, all right, yeah, okay. Here, tap here. But yeah, they'd run out of peas, which was a bit disappointing for the fish cake.
They got no peas. That's
but yeah, I went for a pea. They scored because I heard the drum go mental.
You went for a pea, but you came back with no peas.
Yeah, exactly. I peed the last pea. And anyway, that's where I went. I didn't go to the bar.
Okay, fair enough. But yeah, and then second half, it was just a bit of possession, really, wasn't it? And we got the 2 goals quickly. It was game over. They never had the energy to kind of, put up a bit of a fight, and it was just a bit flat and a bit wasn't it? But yeah, we were rubbish for most of the game. We just like Bruce said, we're in the hat, we're through. Got to wipe it off and move on. But
wipe it off. What do you mean wipe it off?
Wipe it off the record. I don't know. That was a bad analogy.
Shit, you've got to wipe it off.
It was shit. Yeah, there you go, Bruce. Thank you. Yeah, I thought Tory did okay, and Clark Adore is going to frustrate me. I feel he's the most one-footed footballer I've seen at London Park for a long time. But
Youngie, would you like to know how much Football Manager say that his weekly wages?
Oh, go on. How much?
$2.5 grand.
Oh, that's loan terminated as soon as I get the game. He's gone. He's out
the
door.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. You have to wait a month though to be able to terminate the loan.
Oh, really?
Him and Chris Casper. But if you've just got the game, Patrick Bamford, you can get him. Got to wait for the season and the window to close because he's a free agent. But a couple of $3 grand maybe, and he's your striker. And I think Mike has also got Jovino.
Mike has got Jovino. He was telling me about that. It's
I don't know how Mike's got a young family. I don't know. How does Mike have time to play Football Manager?
He doesn't have a very taxing job.
Does it still tell you to wash? When you've been playing it for so many hours? And I used to love on Champ Manager. I used to love it's time to get out the house, or when you've been playing for 36 hours or something. But yeah, Mike's got a young. I hope his missus keeps an eye on the kids.
Nick, who sits next to me at the gate, and we're talking about, when Wayne Rooney was a wonder kid footballer. He said to me, "I've been playing so long that Wayne Rooney has retired as a manager," which is ironic because now we're in 2025. His career has been retired on him anyway as a manager. But Wayne Rooney.
Can you remember that old Nike advert when it was done with? I think it was Hocus Pocus by Focus, the amazing wood whistle weird folk band, and it did this sort of alternate reality of what happened if he hadn't. I think been sponsored by Nike, and Bruce came out as a fat, overweight, bearded man living in a caravan, and Wayne Rooney was the only one that picked that entire advert and went, "That's the life for me, that is. I'm looking forward to that." Periwinkle blue, my friend.
My friend Rob McNichol is the PR manager at Plymouth. Lovely lad, and he spoke the world of Rooney. They were like, "Oh, we all loved him down here. He was great," but it's because he was on the drink with most of the team most of the time. He's a bit Mike Newell.
Could you imagine? He just sits you around the local, like in the swashy, just tells you all the stories that he couldn't tell on the radio. Just go, "This is what we did to Fergie's car."
She was actually 97.
She was 97. Used to be our dinner lady. Is that our review of the game? Has anybody else who listens to
yeah.
this? There's about 200 of you. Has any of you got any thoughts on yesterday's game? We beat Ebbsfleet. It sounded pretty rotten. All the goals were absolute quality. And then they had a guy sent off.
The only thing I will say, which doesn't help, is from the upper, you could see in the first few minutes how slow their players were compared to what we've been playing in recent games, which made our performance in the first period of the game even worse, because I watched one of their guys go to close down one of our players in the first 5 minutes, and I just thought he looked like he was treading in treacle, running in treacle. He was just, and I don't mean to be disrespectful, but just when you look at how Brentford buzzed around and stuff the game before, and we hadn't changed the team massively, and we started really quite well against them for the first 20 minutes until they scored. And I know it's the FA Cup, but these players that have come in, I do think that, like Youngie said, Tory is a good player. I know Danny Rose got player of the match. He was always going to get player of the match off Pete, but I thought Tory was the best player on the pitch yesterday. And I know he had a lot of time on the ball seconds after the red card, but he just gets the ball. He wanted it. He must have had as many touches yesterday as our centre halves, and in the way we play, normally it's the centre halves that are passing it across the back and to the full backs and stuff like that. And we did discuss, me and my old mates. I thought when he was in there originally, there was only him that was really showing in the middle of the park, because, like you said, Corey was at left back, and I think your mate Adore was in the middle as well, wasn't he, from the start, Youngie?
He moved. He when Sweeney went off, didn't he? He moved Corey to left back, and he put him kind of as the right central midfielder, didn't he?
We were attacking, so he was on our side and all I saw was Svan Thorson further down the line, and then there would be Tory in the middle of the pitch. And it was like the old days when we did move it slowly, that you'd look up and our players would have one or two options. And more often than not, in the first 20 minutes, it would be back to the other centre half, and we'd go across the pitch and try again, looking for that space. And it was a difficult watch yesterday. A result's good, I'm happy we're through, but it was a difficult watch. And I thought yesterday as well, Harvey Rodgers has done really, really well, and he's been good for us. But long term, I'm not sure if he's the player that you want. And we've talked about this before. When you overload up front and one of your defenders goes forward, he looks, the quick stuff is too quick for him. It seems like a struggle. He gets into some really good positions, and then just doesn't quite do things perhaps quick enough. But like I say, he wasn't on his own yesterday, and that's not taking away how improved he's been and back to what he was early part of last season this year.
Yeah, I agree. I think that I kind of didn't understand. Warren didn't play, did he, on Tuesday night? So I kind of didn't understand maybe why he didn't play Warren at right back, and maybe go, okay, have a go back at right back again, and just see how you get on for this game, and let's kind of take it from there, rather than kind of carry on and decide to start Rodgers. And I kind of agree with you, Bruce. I think as well as Rodgers has done, when a lot of the play stops with him, doesn't it, when we got on that right hand side, because the quality of his crossing isn't particularly great. Besides that goal from Harrogate, if he tries to have a shot, usually it ends up in the top of the stand. And a lot of the play does stop on the right hand side when Rodgers gets the ball, and that's not his fault, because he's a naturally centre back, and he's done a sterling job there. But I just think if we're going to move forward, perhaps in January, he's not really the answer. And clearly he doesn't rate the lad that signed on loan from Huddersfield, does he? Because he's barely kicked a ball. I think he's come off the bench twice in the league, and he's played a couple of the cup games, the Checkatrade Trophy, whatever it is. So he clearly doesn't rate him. So I think in January that's going to be perhaps something they're going to need to be looking at.
Do you think maybe we're onto something? You know, when we said that we only made, or I said we only made 3 changes yesterday, that we've already talked about Adore, we've talked about him. You know, have we once again not done particularly well in the loan market this summer? So we've had to keep wheeling the same players out over and over again. I do think the Gardner thing is really unfortunate because, I think we even said last week, I think this would have been his breakthrough season, and he would have suited that forward role, and he would have been rotating, you know, maybe even starting over Cabia if he continued in the way that he was going, and hopefully after Christmas when he comes back, he might do. But I wonder if the loans haven't. I mean, what loan players have we got? We've got Adore, we've got
Casper.
And Eccleston.
Casper, is that the keeper?
And Eccleston.
Yeah, Casper's the keeper. Yeah.
I mean, we've not had anything from either of those two, have we? The outfield players, and neither of them look like dislodging anybody, even though they've come from higher divisions. So I think. Do you think he's a key? He's key. He's key to what we do, and I think he's probably one of our top 3 players of the year with McCracken. I think McCracken, Vernham, and McJanet are probably our 3, in my opinion, have been our 3 best players of the season. I know Cameron's made some mistakes in the last couple of games, but he's barely put a foot wrong before that. He is a player. If we didn't need him as the one that recovers at the back for us, when he would probably be better in that role that Rodgers plays, because he's better on the ball. I think with the ball at his feet, he's more comfortable. He doesn't look rushed. He rarely looks rushed. But I think at the moment, I mean, we've not talked about where's Tharm. Is he? What's wrong with Tharm? Is he injured?
Well, yeah. Well, no one kind of knows because and Alex, if you've been hearing it, I'm going to say something now. I don't know whether this is true. This is purely my opinion, but I think the relationship between Artell and Matt Dean is getting worse and worse, because now anytime he asks him anything about injuries, he just doesn't want to answer the question. And like last week where he said about Sweeney, and Artell starts going on about, oh, well, I'm not a physio. And Matt Dean comes back at him and goes, yeah, but surely the physio's told you how long he's going to be out for. And then he was like, oh, well, no, because I let the physio do his job and things like that. And yeah, when he's been asked about Tharm, he kind of does the similar. He's kind of, well, you know, I'm not a physio, so I don't really know. So
he does know, and that's just crap because.
And that's exactly. He does know. Of course, he does.
I mean, at your play, how long's Young going to be off with the shits? Oh, he'll be back. He'll be back. He'll milk it. He'll milk it. He'll be back in 3 weeks when he's better. But you do know, and he maybe doesn't want to sort of falsify. But I've never known a manager that we've had that that they've always been fairly honest about the injuries. If he's just going to keep asking the same questions week in, week out, if you tell him that Doug Tharm is out for 8 weeks, he's not going to. What's the point in him asking the question every week for the next month?
Look, the only thing I'd say is we probably have more of experience in this than most people. Is even though Grimsby Town are the most entertaining football team on the planet,
I thought it was about excuses by the pod crew.
Well, there is that, but it's very hard to get stories out of the club when they're doing all right. And Tharm being injured is probably one of the few things you can probably ask about is how's he coming along? How's such and such coming along? And I guess it's just part of it. Matt Dean actually gets paid to ask those questions. I mean, we should as well, but I think we probably know more exactly how hard it is to get content out, as this show is proving. Actually, then again, we are 40 minutes in.
Are we?
we haven't even talked about Brentford absolutely annihilating us.
Oh.
I don't think it's worth talking about the game, but I just want to talk about Bruce's reaction to the game. That's what I'm going to talk about.
Right. Are we happy with the Ebbsfleet? We've won. We're moving on to the next game.
Should we just answer Richard Kay's question for you, because you flashed it on the screen about whether or not we'd offer Rodgers a contract at the end of the season? I think it depends what league we're in. Is the answer to that?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think if depending on numbers and depending on what we pay him, then if we're still in this league, he would be fine to cover a couple of positions, wouldn't he?
Yeah,
what I'm doing there.
I think so.
Yeah, there we go. Good. Right, Bruce, your attitude to the Brentford game was very similar to Tom once of this parish's pod when he got very annoyed at us losing to Halifax in the FA Trophy final. Grimsby Town 0, Brentford of the Premier League 5. 20 minutes, I thought we played some of the best football we've done all season. I was really proud of it. Couple of defensive mistakes. A penalty that was a penalty. See Gillingham, it's pretty easy to admit when they're penalties. And then we went from, and then we kind of just lost it a little bit. And they were very good. They had 5 shots on target and scored all 5 of them. I was quite happy for it to end. It's been a massive distraction for us this season. It's been a lovely journey. We've made some friends along the way and some enemies, mostly people in Lagos for some reason. That was that. It ends on a team that we should want to emulate in the future once again, and we look forward to being knocked out by Bournemouth in the FA Cup just to get rid of all the bees, and I assume we'll do Burnley at some point as well. Bruce, on the other hand, you were not particularly happy and a meme was born. What are your thoughts and takeaways from losing to Brentford of the Premier League, who earned 185 million last year? What were your thoughts on the game?
It wasn't so much losing; it's the way that the club lost. It's just, we thanked them for coming about 15 times. No, we didn't, but it's that thing at the end where there's a picture of the 2 managers embracing and our friends from Brentford. They beat us 5-0. They were laughing at us. The fans were taking the piss. I thought they were really good, actually, their fans, and they were good all game. And I think it was a flashback to them of, what could have been. But I was pissed off with the people that were sat around me. They were not interested in the slightest. The game before against Man United, everyone was bouncing, everyone was up for it, and the players needed us on Tuesday. And I thought the fans, considering it was full, I thought the atmosphere was pretty poor. And why do people? It's not the cinema. Why do people go and just, I don't know, not sing? Not even cheer. Some of the people around me just sat chatting to the mates and stuff, and you're like, even if it's to come on town or when the players are near you and they can hear you and a little bit of, I mean, there weren't loads of grumblings. I'll be fair in my criticism, but just I thought they needed us on Tuesday, and it was like you say, for the first 20 minutes, aside of my reaction to the defeat and the way that it was dealt with, I thought it was not dissimilar to the Man United game. We didn't create the sort of chances quite, but we didn't create loads against United. The difference was, I thought that for a start, their passing was astray. They were kicking it out. They looked like a group of players that hadn't played much together, but they got the first goal, and that was the difference. And that was the difference. Their finishing was the difference throughout. If we'd have got the first goal, I think it would have been a really, really difficult evening for them, which sounds stupid when they won 5-0. But they would have been more stressed. They would have been more. Their fans would have quietened down. But they got the first goal, which was crucial in that game. And once they did, their players then settled down and they looked like they. But it was. I was worried when it was. I mean, when did the 5th goal go in? There must have been 15 or 20 minutes left, and I was worried it was going to be another Chelsea. And I was relieved, like you say, at the end. I was relieved to get it done at 5-0 and walk out the ground. But yeah, it was a lesson in finishing. I think they had 5 shots on target all game, didn't they? And they stuck them away. And Pim wasn't really to blame for any of them on that occasion. So yeah, it was clinical finishing. At least a couple were outside the area, weren't they? Right in the corners. And yeah, it was a great cup run. I mean, we've had some brilliant memories, haven't we? The Man United is up there. It'll be top for a lot of fans. It's certainly in the top half dozen for people I would have thought of my age, because of where we are now and where they are in the pyramid. It was an amazing run. Hopefully we made a bit of money. I don't think you get a lot in prize money, but we were streamed live on 3 or 4 channels, weren't we, for the Man United game, and impressions. We've probably made a fortune on YouTube. Impressions has probably gone through the roof. So yeah, I don't like us. Like, I didn't like losing at Brighton 5-0. I don't like us being thrashed, and I don't care who it's by. I know you might say that's the way it is, and we're so far behind that sort of distance now, but I just don't like watching my team get beat 5-0, and it doesn't sit well.
I think the only thing I would say is times have changed since when we started supporting football. The gap between us and the Premier League is bigger than it would have ever been, even when it's in the Championship. Even with the Division 1, you've got I think Premier League fans struggle to understand it, and our victory over Manchester United was one of the greatest cup upsets in football in history, to be perfectly honest, in terms of the size of the two clubs. And clubs like Brentford still probably have a bit of a small club mentality. They're not, you think we still harp on about the days back in the Championship. Those days are long gone in comparison to Brentford last being in, lip in between. Who remembers that game when, wasn't it in their final game of the season, the ball hit the bar and they ran off against Rotherham and tucked it in the other end?
Johnny.
That wasn't that. That wasn't that long ago,
Johnny.
was it?
Yeah. No.
And there is probably a little bit of that still, but one thing I would say is the experience we've had with Manchester United fans and the coverage we've got. Me and Youngie were slightly annoyed at a podcast we really like, really not doing us any sort of reference or any sort of kudos to us for beating Manchester United. It's not really a world I want to entertain. I'd like to be in the Premier League for a season or two, like Luton. Sorry, Lincoln. They wish get in the Championship, but that would be a nice opportunity for them to enjoy, a bit of cash, put a half decent ground together. But do you want to really play in a Costco like Brentford do and struggle to get tickets, and away days aren't as fun? It's just a different world, and it's not necessarily something that I'd like to really enjoy too much.
I think we've seen what a different world it is from the response to the Man United game, haven't we? And this is the thing. Teams like Man United and the top Premier League teams are not domestic teams anymore. They are worldwide teams, because the Premier League has such reach, and because these teams are being streamed all over the world in areas that don't, that are massive areas, like places like India, for example, where haven't got a strong domestic league themselves, so they watch English football and support English teams. It's a completely different thing. Even to when we beat Liverpool 20 years ago, it's a completely different upset to that now, which makes it an even bigger upset. Arguably, and argue definitely one of in the top 3 probably biggest upsets in our history, because of the difference now between the Premier League and everybody else. When we were in the Championship, the Premier League was almost obtainable. It didn't seem a million miles away. But if you're a team like, even in the Championship now, like who's a consistent Championship team like a Preston or somewhere like that, the Premier League just seems like it's like a mirage. It's so far away from what they're used to, and they're only one league apart. So yeah, I think Tuesday night was always going to be a little bit after the Lord Mayor's show. I'm glad we got Sheffield Wednesday after United, because at least we got like an extra game, and it was a run then. We beat Man United, then we go to Sheffield Wednesday, take a big crowd with us, get a result. We tried to be kind of positive about the draw, but I think we all knew in the back of our heads that it's a Premier League team, but it's not that glamorous, and they'll probably beat us. And that's exactly what happened. So look, don't be sad about what happened on Tuesday. Be amazingly happy about what has been a tremendous couple of months, and it's over now, and we might get a mini FA Cup run, but more importantly, we can concentrate on the league and try to get out of it.
Did you hear, Alex, that on the telly, when we sang at them, where were you when you were shite? and their response was, "We were here when we were shite." And at first, I didn't get it straight away. I was like, I was already angry, and I was thinking, "No, you weren't. You didn't bring this many." But they actually meant they were at Grimsby when they were shite, and it was a brilliant comeback. And their fans, I mean, like I say, it was quite easy for them to bounce all game because there was 1,200 in a good stand with a good atmosphere, and they were, and they were cruising after about 40 minutes. But yeah, ultimately it was an amazing run. The Manchester United experience will live in the memory of all Town fans that were there and not there for the rest of their lives, because it was one of those experiences.
I'm on mute. Fun, weren't it? Anyway, League Cup's gone. FA Cup distractions now. Who do we want in the next round? I'm not really. There's no local clubs anymore, is there?
We were close to
the mighty Salford.
Yeah, Gainsborough had just been beaten. They took Accrington to injury time, to extra time, but they've just been beaten 2-1 by the looks of it. So we are the last Lincolnshire torchbearers. So I'm thinking, as always, a rubbish team at home, second round. Let's just try and get through. I think for me, let's just try and get a lower place team again at home. Let's just try and get through and get ourselves in the hat for round 3.
Yeah,
I want
Manchester United away.
Chelmsford at home. Our mate Steve that lives down that way. We used to travel to England games with him. Has been a Chelmsford fan. Used to be involved in the club, and they won. They beat their local rivals Braintree 4-1. Which must have been really good for them. And get them up here. He can come for a few beers, and we get through to the third round.
Is there no sort of former Town player or legend managing? I know Paul Groves no longer manages Gloucester City, but something like that where we get to see them. I don't know. Well, Jack Lester was here against Brentford, wasn't he?
That mate is the sort of niche knowledge that you need McMahon for.
Yeah,
and he's not here. And he's not here.
Don't know if Aldershot are in the next round. Worthing, Tommy Widrington is manager of Worthing now. Oh no, Eastbourne. Sorry. So maybe them. I don't know.
Let me bring up the numbers, and I'll tell you what non-league teams are left. Just bear with me a second.
Okay. Oh, do you know what? I'm playing Championship Manager in the background, and they've just recalled 2 of my players because I wasn't playing them where they wanted me to. How rude! Rude.
You got to play the game when we got loans. Okay, so we got Western Supermere. Didn't we have them in the FA Trophy?
We
Western
did, yes.
Supermare.
Yeah. Slough Town are in it. Buxton.
Yeah. Buxton.
Gateshead.
Carlisle. Don't want Carlisle. Boreham Wood. Sutton.
These are
Chelmsford.
just Wealdstone.
Slough, Wealdstone again. But Buxton would be lovely, actually. A little away trip to Buxton. I seem to remember we played Buxton pre-season away once, and everyone I know that went loved it. Said it was a really nice.
I think I've got a video. I think I've got video of that.
Lovely, lovely
Brackley.
water.
Brackley, they beat Notts County, didn't they? Macclesfield. Yeah, that's about it. So
we've got to get through to the third round, Youngie. There's a lot of shit draws in there still. There's a lot of in our league. There's a lot of crap away days in that lot, like you say. We want to be pulled out first, and after that, it doesn't really matter too much. We go second, and there's some horrendous away days still.
Yeah,
that we would probably lose as well.
That's the spirit.
Dave Riley, I think you're the only one that wants Gateshead away. Awful away ground.
Oh, I don't know. It'd be good.
There are some trappings up there, though, Youngie.
Well, there's a big market to go to.
Well, stop the game. You just tell the missus you've gone to Gateshead away.
If you go to Buxton, is that not near? Oh no, that's Matlock, isn't it? Anyway, did you want to do calendars or something, everybody? What did you want, Bruce?
I don't mind it. When we've been 55 minutes, do you want to dip into the post bag?
Let's dip into your bag, Bruce.
Okay. I think I'm cracking up though, because I have dug out some stuff twice this week already, and I had some really good content. And I don't know where the Sports Telegraph's gone. But I have got some others that I've pulled down, but they're a bit older, so I hope these are valid. Let me just dig this up on the old computer. 1 second. I've got a section now in here in my town folder for. Oh God, I've just moved it onto a new computer. This is all new. Letters. Oh shit. It all looks different. Hang on. Can you play some sort of jingle or something just while I look for it?
You were the one earlier saying, "Come on, people, let's do this. Let's get."
I'll tell you what. Then I'll tell you what. Play the calendars jingle then.
You want to do calendars?
Yes.
Yes, that's right. The game that everybody thought was dead and buried is back. Like, I don't know.
Penny.
Alan Buckley coming back for a 5th go.
Right.
Go on then, Bruce. All yours.
Right. Cut the jingle then.
Why? What's wrong with the jingle?
Marvellous. Good timing. Right. Okay. Richard, you've made the effort to come back, so you can go first.
Thanks,
your first player this month, Mr. November, for 2025 is Evan Corey. Evan Corey.
Evan Corey. Okay. What's the story, Evan Corey?
Would you like to go higher? My wife says I need to be quiet. Would you like to go higher or lower than Evan Corey?
He's a very. I feel he's a very middle. This is what we would call a par player. So I'm going to take a gamble and I'm going to say lower than Evan Corey.
Are we saying this is a 7 or an 8?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Okay. You've gone. What did you say? Sorry, just confirm.
Lower than Evan Corey.
Okay. You've got the class of 2020.
Oh well done, well done, Youngie.
And you've got Maximus Ritus.
Oh.
But I think
it's over to you for this one, Bruce.
Hasn't Ev just passed a milestone of playing a certain number of games? And I think, unfortunately, we had some lovely moments with Max Wright away at Morecambe and at home to Wrexham. But unfortunately, his injuries tailed his time at Town. So I am going to go that Max Wright is lower than Evan Corey. You're still in the hot seat, Richard.
Thank you, Bruce.
Max Wright.
I'll go higher than Max Wright.
You've gone to, what year have you gone to? 1996. And you've pulled out Lightning, Neil Woods.
Oh, yes.
Neil Woods is definitely higher than Max. Bless him. So you're still in the hot seat.
Thank you. I will go lower than the Neil Woods.
Lower than Neil Woods. You've turned Kieran Green. Unfortunately, if Kieran was compared to most players from the last 5 or 6 years, maybe 15 years, you would have been in with a chance. But I'm sticking with Woodsy, so you are correct.
Okay, thank
Kieran
you.
Green, though, this might get tricky now.
Yeah, again, I think he's in your sevens category, isn't he? So I will go higher than Kieran Green.
And that's where your reign in the hot seat ends. You've turned Paul Groves.
I said higher. Then higher than
lower, didn't you?
No, I said higher.
Oh,
He
shit.
said higher.
Sorry, I'm getting worse at this. Right, sorry, you're still in the... Oh, I hope we don't have it where you go all the way through. If you go all the way through, calendars is never coming back. Right?
Okay.
Don't say that, Bruce. We're always
I'm responsible in killing the calendars.
Don't worry, Bruce is doing that all by himself.
Oh, fair.
Last week, I ruined. What did I ruin last week? That was how old are you, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, you cheat. I got cheated.
Only Mike noticed though, didn't he? No one else noticed.
By the way, the greatest ending to a podcast ever, I think, was just purely just cutting it. It was great.
In the middle of an argument.
It's like Sopranos.
Yeah.
Right. Paul Groves.
Left me on a cliffhanger.
Right, I guess I know where you're going here with Paul Groves.
Yeah, well, he's the top trump, isn't he? So I'll go lower than Paul Groves.
Oh, very close.
Oh, he's close.
For anyone that's not watching and is listening only, he turned to Tony Crane.
Love Tony.
Are you going higher or lower than Tony Crane? You've got 2 columns left.
I'll say higher than Tony Crane.
You're just playing the odds now.
Okay. You've got Niall Maher.
Oh. Tony Crane's a better player than Niall Maher.
I think.
Yeah, played at a higher level.
Green, I don't need anything from you, thank you, at this point. I feel... you're not influencing me like some Star Wars character.
Mike.
Right. I feel that Niall Maher played at a much lesser level than Tony Crane. And therefore, on the last go, Alex, you're in the hot seat with Niall Maher.
With a steal.
Oh, this is proper QPR away. This.
I reckon Niall Maher is probably a 5.
Yeah, I'm going higher than Niall Maher.
You've got to go for
the
Fox.
Oh, easy, brilliant. Thanks very much, Tar.
Whoa.
What?
You have won, but please leave that to me. You don't call your own fucking victory, right?
I'm sorry, Bruce. I apologize.
When has the contestant ever? When you've been watching the game shows on telly, when does the contestant ever declare themselves the winner? They have the manners, and they know what to let the bloody host.
Open wide for some soccer!
And now the shipping forecast issued by the Met Office on behalf of the Maritime and Coast Guard Agency at 1130. Go! At 1130.
I don't think I've ever wanted to be in a stand more than my life around there. They're going crazy.
This antiquated main stand, I can feel it vibrating.
They got a penalty here, there'll be fish flying about that. There's no tomorrow.
What a magnificent piece of football! This is Vernon! Vernon scored! The supporters are invading the pitch because Grimsby Town have caused one of the biggest upsets in their history.
Love it.